hear from your staff about what the experience of working is like. And we know it's a busy environment, it's a call centre, it's not going to be quiet, it's not, but actually how much of that is, can we actually see in the data? How much of that can we, and therefore try and address? So I think that was kind of part of what we were hoping to achieve, was kind of give some transparency to, and some validity to, the experiences of our staff, and be able to kind of put that into some kind of business case that explained this is what the issues are, with some data behind it and some visualization that made it easier for decision making from our senior management.
So what's fantastic about this model is that we've been able to share it with our operational staff. So you don't have to be technical to use it, which is, great news for me. It's really accessible. It's really intuitive as well. You can see it, play around with it if you like, and you can look at what result you want to get, essentially. So I want to have these. I've got these KPIs to meet across all of these different services that I'm providing. How do I do it? And I can sit there with my team and make it work, and then we can staff appropriately.
Through modelling, we could kind of show, actually, if you built in a little bit more capacity into the system, there's lots of benefits in terms of that health and well-being, but there's also benefits in terms of flexibility to respond to demand. So we know our demand changes not just over a 24-hour cycle, but it also changes seasonally. And actually how can we kind of predict some of that, and what demand we need to, what resilience we need to put into the system so that it is still as efficient as it can be.
So in terms of using the model on a daily basis, I think that the first thing that we're using it for really is to look at those thresholds, and we're using it to predict impact. So there are times when we can anticipate contacts increasing, resourcing decreasing, looking at our maybe 4 or 5 different skill sets. So on any given day, we can look at the model and of course simulate what might happen. So we can move people around, we can pull people in, pull people back. So it's hugely flexible, and as a charity, it's really important for us to be able to staff to demand, basically. And it's really allowed us to concentrate on that as well.
I think it has provided that transparency and that ability to make decisions based on data and and stuff, and something a bit more tangible than the experience of the person sitting answering the phones who's saying it's too busy. We can really demonstrate what that looks like now.
Operationally, it's been fantastic for us, but in terms of being able to better assist other departments within the charity, it's been really good for us to fully understand perhaps the associated costs with the impact. So typically we might be presented with a proposal for a new business that has X amount of contacts, which are likely to take X amount of time for our agents. Before now, it was pretty much, do we think we can do it? Probably, it's going to be that type of thing. But with Simul8, we can actually have it there on paper, look at the data and say, to provide this service at that level, we are going to need X amount of resources. So for the first time ever, we can build that into the costing properly, which has been a huge benefit to us.
What's wonderful is that you can pick up the phone to almost anyone, and they kind of can help you, and that they don't need to know our model in order to make in order to help us. So I think that's been really, really good. But also I think actually the help within the system is really useful as well. So there's lots of FAQs, questions that you can go in. All the online resource is there that you need. You just have to look for it. But it is very available, and once you found it, actually really easy to digest. You don't need to be technical to make the little tweaks